What's up guys, today we have Makai on the show, an athletic and skilled blue belt. Watch how I take an underhook here. I take control of his wrist, before he can take control of mine. I then direct his hand down and flare his elbow out to the side. I now have an unobstructed path to get my arm between his elbow and his torso for an underhook. Feeling his forward momentum, I decide this could be a good time to shoot on him. However, he sprawls, but he isn't able to sprawl enough to get my hands off of him, and I'm able to continue with the takedown. As I land, I'm making sure to be mindful of my weight placement. I wouldn't want him using that butterfly hook to lift me with the help of my momentum. I'm making sure to keep his right leg trapped so I don't end up in closed guard. Not that closed guard is the end of the world, but it would mean that I've regressed within my goal to pass the guard. Now that I have my left knee in front of his right knee, I have control of his hips. And now I start to force Makai's hips flat to the mat. This makes it harder for him to keep his right leg hooked onto my right leg. I also push with my left knee into his leg to straighten it further as I backstep out to pass. But Makai is an explosive guy with very strong hips, and he's able to build base by getting to his knees. This is basically what I did in my last super fight. When I lost top position, I prioritized building base to avoid myself getting smashed on the bottom, which worked out great for me as I hit the slick knee bar. I now hit a knee tap and return Makai's hips back to the mat. As I get up to top position, I make sure to fill the pocket of his knee, the inside of his knee, with my shin. This prevents close guard and just in general makes it difficult for him to use that leg for offense. Makai is doing a great job preventing me from grabbing his head with his right arm, but what he could have done as well is look to position his left arm in a safer position. Maybe dig for an underhook, maybe push my head away, or at least get his elbow back to his body. I'm sure he'd like to grab a Kimura from here, which is why I make sure to keep his back on the mat using my head before switching to my arm. This shallow crossface pins his back to the mat as I again pin his hips to the mat and backstep. Quickly he responds by getting his elbows back to his body and his frames in place, which makes it difficult for me to control his upper body. So I pop up to knee on belly to instead pin him with my shin. But I'm not overly looking to pin, I let him rotate away so I can get my chest to his back. He's doing a good job defending his inside position, not easily letting me get in there with my arms. This allows him to stay safe and move freely for his own offense. He inverts looking for a leg entry, but I managed to keep my legs safe. I hit something similar in a match I did at TriStar where I rolled into a knee bar from Turtle, which won me the match and looked pretty cool. The way I stay safe here is using my instep of my foot to hook onto his leg. This prevents him from being able to get my leg between his legs where it would be vulnerable to attack. I then backstep to pass his guard, and then again start letting him rotate so I can get my chest to his back. He does the right thing by continually fighting my hands, so I throw my hook in and drag him to the ground so I can more easily control him while I continue the hand fight. I'm working over his chin while I try to force my arm deeper and deeper until it's fully underneath his chin. I didn't expect something like this to make a difference, but a few weeks ago I started using this device called Pulsetto. It's the neck wearable that helps you relax by stimulating your vagus nerve. You just put a small bit of gel on the pads, place it under your jawline, connect to the Pulsetto app and press start. It's that simple. I usually run a 4-minute session if I'm feeling stressed, or a 10-minute session before bed. At first I thought it's just another gadget, but the thing is after a couple sessions I noticed I was feeling more relaxed and actually started falling asleep faster. It's like my nervous system finally got the memo to chill out. I also use it when I've had a really intense day at the gym. It helps me reset and feel calmer, and because it's wireless and hands-free, you can literally wear it while you're walking around the house, making coffee or even brushing your teeth. Over 100,000 people are using it to manage stress, improve sleep, and boost focus, and I can see why. If you want to try it out, I'll leave a link here in the description so you can get an exclusive discount. Check the link to check out Pulsetto for yourself. We start again, and Makai wins the battle for inside position by positioning his arm between my left arm and my head. I now have nothing to block him from shooting for my legs. And look how he first pulls me forward to get me to step. This was real nice and smart work from him. Lucky for me, I'm able to sprawl in time, and I sprawl enough to get his hands off of me and onto the mat. And now my options here are to either attack his neck or get behind his elbows to take his back. He's really committed to defending his neck, which opens up an easy path to the back. He's in turtle, which you can think of as a defensive shell. I need to penetrate that shell, which I do by inserting my knee in front of his knee, and I roll into the truck as he tries to escape the position. His left arm is a little bit too loose and easy to grab, so I enter into the twister, and that's all she wrote. We start again and hand fight for a bit, battling for superior grips, which I often get impatient with and do here as well. I drop down for a dummy sweep and try to trip him backwards onto his butt. I don't always hit it clean, but often use it to wrestle up, which I do here. A guard pull to your butt is essentially just a level change, similar to taking a shot from the feet. Right away, Makai starts attacking K-guard, and I can tell he wants to use it to get a hold of my left leg, so I make sure to keep it away from him. I stay sturdy on my knees until I'm able to enter in on him. Watch how I use my chest and weight to drive his back to the mat and pin it down. As I do, I get the instep of my foot between his legs. This functions as a wedge, keeping his left knee in place. As he pushes with his right leg, he guides me right into mount. I already have an underhook, so a logical choice with it in mount is to attack the arm triangle, so I do by first jacking up his arm. But for some reason I didn't really want to finish it, I more so just wanted to stay heavy and try to cook him a little bit. Again, he's an explosive guy and he's almost able to drive his hips off the mat and get onto his knees. But I chair sit to keep him off his knees and I take his back. Lately, I've been working on transitioning from the back to mounts without losing control, as that's what caused me to lose position in my last competitive match. So I purposely let him escape by getting his back to the mat so I could come up to top position. Look how I sneak in this underhook and knee slide to pass the guard. He should have kept his elbow tighter to his body and maybe searched for an underhook for himself. Watching this, it might seem like a tiny battle he lost, but actually it's a major loss for him. This underhook makes it so much easier to pin him and execute the knee slide. So my point is, be aware of these seemingly small battles that you're losing in your rolls, as it's often something seemingly small like this that leads to everything going downhill after. I eventually lose the underhook, and I don't have control with my arms, so like earlier, I gain control of him with my legs by pinning him with my shin, which is just knee on belly. But I don't stay here long, as I take advantage of the back exposure created by him turning onto his side. But instead of taking his back, I enter straight into the armbar. To finish, look how I cup his hand so that he can't grip his hands together and take defensive grips. I then pull his wrist to the side rather than straight back, as this provides extra leverage. I focus on control of the wrist and I get the tap. Back to it and I feint a little bit to gauge his reaction, but he then hits this beautiful inside trip to get me down, but just momentarily. I've said it before on the channel that I like to right my wrongs right away. Quickly, I'm able to use his momentum against him and sweep him before he can settle his weight. I lift with my butterfly hook and I swipe the leg similarly to a scissor sweep. I'm in competition mode right now, so I have to roll a little bit meaner and a bit more assertive, so I've been doing a lot of smothering, which is fair game in my books. I would only do it on someone I think wouldn't mind, and I don't care at all when people do it on me. It's like saying I respect your game, so I gotta play a little bit dirty. I end up taking the back and hitting this cool neck crank. All I need is his elbow above his head, and once I get it there, I push his head forward while I pull his arm back in the opposite direction. Alright, thank you for sticking around until the end of the video. If you're still here, please leave a comment or a fist bump, and I'll see you guys next time.